All right, everybody. Welcome to week number 18, Blades in the Dark. My name's Matt. I'm joined by Ian, Michael, Emily, and Anthony. After some tech issues, we are finally live, so sorry about that, and welcome. How's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
Great.
Excellent.
Super.
Let's go ahead and...
Not doing that good.
Oh. Well, let's go ahead and check in with Ian then and figure out what's going on.
Sweet. I had to write down what's been going on with me so I could remember everything. Because I have that thing where when it's the spotlight's on you, you forget everything. So, well, my job's been busy, and it's caused a lot of I want to say mental and emotional trauma because I worked Halloween, and they so many people forget what they need to get for Halloween that it's just I think the highlight of my night, which I think it's a highlight only because it manifests my current most annoying thing that I've seen, which is while I was helping a customer, she whispered to her father how she was buying it all to dress as Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. And I was like, and then I walked away after I checked them out, and I just went.
You just continued.
Well, I actually saw a pair come in dressed as the Joker and Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad at my store.
Did you quit?
A pair?
2 people.
Oh.
One person was Harley Quinn. One person was the Joker. That's how pairs work, Anthony.
That is 2. It is
No.
2.
It wasn't one pair.
It was 1 pair. That is 2.
Anyways,
I would
What is happening right now?
stop dressing as Harley Quinn.
Well, if you're
There we
a pair,
Anthony, stop dressing as Harley Quinn.
Anthony,
peak.
please. Anthony, this is an intervention.
Anyways,
I'm more of a mango.
and then I watched I went to our local super theater was showing the special of Alien and Aliens back to back, and I went with some friends to that. Unfortunately, they were not they were the theatrical versions, which cut some, I wouldn't say super important stuff, but some pretty cool scenes. Like the turret scene from Aliens, I think really depicts a good. I think it brings the feeling. It just brings the movie stress up, and it makes it more interesting. So I still enjoyed it. And one other thing that I watched was, if you have Netflix, you should go watch their original movie called Ark, ARQ.
That's not how you spell ARC.
Well, that's how they spell Ark. So
Okay.
They're cool that way.
Tell me about ARC.
It's a sci-fi.
Oh, it's
like a sci-fi. It's probably the only movie that features time travel in it that I've actually enjoyed forever, probably. So
It's impossible.
because they don't do, they don't try to. I don't know. You'll have to watch it. It's got some pretty cool actors in it, and it was a great movie. Go watch it.
Sure. Mike, how are you, man?
For the record, time travel is bullshit, and it can't be good.
I have my own feelings about that as of recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all right. I also worked on Halloween. It was okay. Another work-related thing that happened to me, I got sent up to another store a couple hours away because it's a relatively new store and they're low on staff at the moment until they get fully staffed up. So they needed help, and my manager was like, "You want to do this?" I'm like, "Well," and she's like, "Well, we're going to pay for your drive time, both to and from. We're going to pay for your gas, and you'll get overtime pay for doing it." And so I'm like, that seems like a pretty sick deal.
Sweet.
So I did that thing, and it was supposed to be a 3 o'clock to 11 o'clock shift, and I get there, and I'm basically told, and for the record, I've been at this job for like 2 weeks, right? I'm
Mhm.
told, so you're closing the store by yourself tonight. And I'm like,
Nice.
I know how that feels, actually.
and I was like, you do know I have 0 training on how to close a store, right? And they're like, well, you're going to be by yourself from 9 o'clock till 11 o'clock. So good luck. Goodbye. And then I was left with one other person who was supposed to get off at 9, but because he had other stuff to do and didn't get it done, he was there till like 10:30. But that still left me alone in the store for like an hour before it closed. And then I had to close it all by myself and do all the end of night cleanup and closing stuff by myself.
No,
Did
So
it
I
make
didn't,
you like
like-
count tills or anything? Like,
Yeah,
did you have to
yeah.
handle cash? Oh,
I had to
Wow.
count the tills down.
and a
all
lot of
that.
faith in you.
Yeah.
They didn't have a choice.
have.
I know.
That's pretty wild that they were just like, here you
Yeah.
go. Not only because it's like just terrible for you, but also again because you had to handle the money at the end of the night. So.
Yeah.
And we all know your
When I
history
got-
of being a crime lord. So.
Right, that's why he left Washington,
And,
guys.
and Blades in the Dark.
So when I got back a couple days later, my manager was just like, I am so sorry. And I was like, I figured that if like you had been aware that they were intending to have me closed by myself, you wouldn't have sent me. She's like, no, not at all. That's a terrible idea.
But you
So I
did
was
it.
like-
So good job.
I did it.
Yeah.
Store didn't burn down.
Job.
So that was good.
Great.
Other than that, there's a lot of video games coming out this month.
Yes,
You
there
know,
are.
I've been playing, so that's always fun. You know, I got like Skyrim remaster that came out. That's a good ton of fun.
Skyrim 2. It's Skyrim again.
Skyrim again. If you guys want to play Skyrim again, this is a good excuse to play Skyrim again.
Dude,
So
everything I've seen about this remaster has been like, did they change anything? Like, did they actually just?
it looks better.
Is everything but the ground texture low res now? Like,
So here's basically what they did. They took the modded version of Skyrim and they sold it again.
right? That.
Don't worry, the character models are still.
Awful.
God awful. It's
Yeah.
still a
Oops.
buggy game, and I recommend trying to find some way to cap your frame rate because Bethesda still ties their physics engine to the frame rate. If there are any game developers listening to this for some reason, don't do that. That is a terrible idea. Why would you ever do that? It's bad. Yeah, so Skyrim, Civ 6 came out. Dark Souls DLC, the last episode of Hitman for Season 1 came out, so I did that today, which was a great ton of fun. Lots of fun stuff. Battlefield 1 came out, which Matt's
That's the
enjoying.
first one.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
First Battlefield.
First one. It's good.
Yeah. Well,
It's fun.
before
I
we
don't know, it's good.
before we talk about Battlefield 1 and Magic Forever, Anthony, let's let Emily tell us about her week.
Yes, that is a good way to transition out of those subjects. Congratulations. I'm doing pretty well. Had a very festive Halloween. I was Norma Bates from the hit A&E TV series Bates Motel, that specific version.
Mhm.
It was very exciting. I tried to get a Marilyn Monroe wig to bring the outfit together, and it was a little frightening, but it turned out.
Yeah, the hair was big.
I might actually have a picture that I can post in the chat
Yeah, do it.
to give you a visual there.
Nice.
Hopefully that works. But yeah, so Halloween happened and work has been ridiculously busy ever since. As far as TV stuff goes, there's a lot of it because it's fall. But this week's episode of The Walking Dead, all I will say is that it is happier. So
Yes.
little joys to cling on to,
Well, as
I
it turns out,
suppose.
it's also not terribly difficult to make an episode that's happier than the grim darkness of episode 1 of season 7.
That is quite true.
Yeah.
Which
That
I
one
had spoiled for me
oh,
on the
I'm
internet.
sorry. Have you seen it yet?
No, but I
Then
know
you
who
are
dies.
Then you are beyond the point of it
You know?
being even reasonable. You gotta watch it, man.
Yeah, but I need money to do that
Hey, no.
legally.
No, I got you, and it's legal. I got you. I'll hook you up later. I got the stuff. All right. Anything else, Emily?
Not that I can think of.
Cool. So now Anthony and I are gonna have a podcast about both Magic: The Gathering and Battlefield 1. Anthony, how are
Okay,
you?
I'll see you guys later. Bye.
He's
I'm great, Matt.
I'm so glad.
This is what we should do every week.
oh my god.
Tell me more of your thoughts.
I
You
like
played
Magic.
Battlefield 1.
Yeah.
Someone tunes in right now, they're gonna be so confused. There's like a picture of Ben Wyatt somewhere. Two guys have two close-ups.
What do you mean? This is just right. Oh, there we go. It's the Neckbeard stream. Oh, baby.
Blades in the
Alright,
Dark is a pretty cool game, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Play it.
Battlefield 1.
Yeah, fun game.
Man, yeah, can someone like write them a letter origin? Can someone like teach them how to like make a UI for fuck's sake?
Or like
I-
a functional party system.
For some reason, I just like can't quit the game from half the screens in the game. I have to fully
Here's
load the
my,
next
here's
map.
my important question. Important question. Did they get rid of the god-awful browser-based launcher system
So
that Battlefield has been trying to do for
Half and
the last 10 years?
half and
Yeah,
half.
but it's not better for it. Well, there's a server browser, so
So
the
so like there's a server browser, and you don't have to go into like Chrome to start playing Battlefield 1. But there is a companion app that is probably the best way to do things like customize your class and stuff like that. Like stuff like class customization.
otherwise you have to do it while you're waiting to load, and then you're just not doing anything.
Yeah.
Also, although you can't hooah each other on like fake Facebook for Battlefield,
Which was
which was pretty disappointing. I was hoping to see that come back.
hooah.
Hooah. The gameplay's fun though. Game
Yeah.
looks great on like every setting,
Yeah,
which
I
is just a
played
damn
on-
cheap.
I
I'd
played
say.
on like all low everything, and it's still like enjoyable. I remember like the first couple of times just playing a game, I was like, there's so much happening, and I don't know what where anything is. And there's like some cool weather effects that they have, and they actually like really do change the dynamic of the map. And
It's pretty
Cool.
smooth. It's good. Things are really readable too. In UI jokes aside, the actual like maps and all the stuff like is pretty clear and simplified.
Mhm.
They picked a nice typeface, but I don't know why they used it on the chat. It's like nothing's legible in the chat, but everything else looks really pretty. There's a bunch of just weird choices in the game for sure, but it's cool. You can ride a horse. I mean,
that is probably one of the cooler parts of it for sure.
it's a highlight.
You can also shoot people off of horses.
Yeah.
Cool.
Every time I shoot the guy off a horse but don't kill the horse, I feel pretty good about
Every
myself.
time I accidentally kill a horse, I just like.
Yeah, well,
Oh, no.
I remember specifically last night we were playing, and there's a choke point where you go down the stairs, and anytime in Battlefield where the two teams have to go through one little choke point, they act like the biggest idiots
it's
like
hell.
imaginable. They run back and forth and like throw grenades at each other and like res each other, and they're just stuck there for like 10 minutes. Doesn't matter every time. And there's a horse. Somebody brought a horse in there, and it's just on the stairs. It's in the way. Our team is dying because no one's doing anything about this goddamn horse. That just clearly somebody wrote in there like, "Here I go," and he just died. And the horse is just fine. There's just like grenades blowing up everywhere. There's literal poison gas.
The horse does not care. He's too tall for that.
The horse is fine.
He just puts his head up like.
Well, this is an obstacle we cannot surmount. The horse stays. And I don't know if then that like you could shoot the horse if you really need nope. Nope.
So here's what I've learned so far about
Uh,
Battlefield 1.
It's fun and-
Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed.
Yes.
Well,
at all.
that's not even true. It's a fun game for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
Are
Anything
you
else
are you gonna make a professional Battlefield 1 team, Matt?
No.
You gonna join one of those?
No, I'm not good enough at
We're in
PC shooters.
we're in
to do
Face
that.
Clan.
Oh yeah.
What are you talking about?
No, we actually already have a team. It's called the Fat Pack. We ride it.
Woo!
We ride every time. Great. Ride or die, baby.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
True.
Well, how about we play some Blades in the Dark?
Sure.
An idea.
All right, Mike.
Alright.
Where did we leave off last time?
We left off pretty dramatically with Lyric, Giuseppe, and Silas had a conversation about a recent interaction that Lyric had with Satara, the demon. And Satara has requested that Lyric find a Sir Morlin Zamira, who's one of the elders, or eldest, as they're called in the church. Satara wants Lyric to kill this man and take something off of his person and bring it to her.
Whoa, did she specifically say kill? Because I thought she just said she needed something.
No, she said kill.
Oh,
She
damn.
said kill.
Either way, it was
Ah,
interpreted
dang
as
it.
kill. Whatever we said.
Ah.
It was definitely kill.
Okay,
I have
alright.
that seared into
There
my
was no
brain.
doubt. There was no doubt at all.
Uh-uh.
Dang it. Okay.
Very, very much die.
Big die.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway.
The three of you,
So,
the three of you decided that you needed to talk as a whole crew, so you want to go find Wacasis, wherever the heck he's chilling out at. Before we get around to that conversation, we wanted to try and take care of downtime actions as quick as possible. So who would like to start?
I can go.
And these downtime actions, fictionally, we can, try to get them to take place before all of this interaction has happened, or if we think that it could fit in afterwards, then we can say it took place afterwards. Whatever you guys
Just kind of
want,
at some
then we
point
can,
during that 2-week period.
yeah, we can work with it and make it happen.
And which page of the rulebook is downtime action?
We're going
It's like
to be
30
on-
something?
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
37?
There's also a reference on the Roll20. That should be rules reference number
It's on
2.
See it on page 20.
Yeah. Rules reference 2 also has it on Roll20.
It's on 20 and 34. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
I'll go. I already have kind of what I have planned out. So, I think for my downtime, my two that I just get, automatically, are both going to be training. I'm going to tie them in fictionally so that they're both part of the same kind of activity. I should probably that's a strange term for what's about to go down, but so me training my prowess and resolve, which will actually get me points in both of those, which is super nice.
Cool.
And I think that what happens is that because my vice is violence, I think that what Silas does is he organizes like a fight, like essentially a fight club. You didn't hear me say that.
We
With
don't
like
talk about it.
all the shady people and like gangs and businesses of Crowsfoot. And so what we see is like, like the scene from the first Sherlock Holmes movie where it cuts into him fighting in like, some building with like a giant ring in the middle and all the guys yelling and throwing money and stuff. And so there's like different fights. I think at one point in that even he fights, and beats the absolute crap out of some one of the crows. Obviously he doesn't kill him because this is like, we try not to kill in this fight, but you can get as close as you can without killing them. So I think that that's probably how the prowess goes, is him fighting. But I think the resolve is him, shaking hands, making the deals, passing the money along to make this thing happen. Betting is going off, and yeah, I think that's how that goes.
I was gonna ask, is the person's name that you beat up, is his name Pretty Boy?
No, it's Ugly Man.
His name's not Pretty Boy.
His name's Ugly Man, dude.
Cool.
So that's my downtime that I'm not that I just get, and I'm gonna use coin to do a couple more, because Silas is stressed, as I'll get out.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use a coin to indulge in my vice, and I think after the fight's going on, after everyone winds down and they go home, lick their wounds and stuff, I'm going to... It cuts in on, Silas, probably sitting in an alleyway with, like, a stringed instrument on his lap, and he's playing it, and you can hear the tunes, like, kind of pervading the area around Dustfall, and it's like super creepy and atmospheric as like fog rolls in.
Some dope post rock.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll do that. Let's do this.
All right. Let's see what you got. A 4.
Yeah.
All right. So that's...
I'm gonna... So...
Let me just remind myself how that works.
So the question was at one point in time that you can spend a coin in downtime actions to boost, the action up, like, one result level, right?
Yeah.
So is there, can I spend that on Vice?
Well, I don't see anything that specifically says that you can't. So I think that we can. So you got a, 4 to 5 results. So that's going to become a 6 if you spend another coin.
Yeah, I'm going to do that. That puts
Clear
me
the
at
6 stress.
Yeah.
You did not overindulge. I don't think so.
No, I did not. I still have 2 stress on my bar, but that was much needed stress clearing.
Punched.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I think that's my downtime. I have coin, but I'm just going to throw it into my stash. I'm so close to that first line of stash. It feels so good. Feels good, man. Feels good.
I'm gonna have to find someone to take it away from you. What? Sorry? What?
Good luck with that.
Who said that? All right, who's next? Who wants to do some downtime stuff?
Not
Sure,
it.
there's at least a couple of you that need some vice indulgence.
Oh, it's Emily.
Fine.
That's not it.
Yes. I have actually come to the decision, and I've been holding out on indulging my vice for a very long time, but I have decided, along with some advice from Matt, that I probably should take the opportunity to actually indulge my vice because things are going to go down, and I have a lot of cool abilities that require stress to use, and I would like to have the opportunity to use those before whatever happens to me happens. So I think that Lyric would like to visit the Hooded Proprietor in the Flooded Grotto and do some spooktastical things, as she always does.
Some blood bargains.
Yeah.
Some blood
Just a
bargains.
normal
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Late a little bit.
All right.
Just a
As
touch.
as is the norm.
You do this, do you think, before or probably before the interaction with Satara? Because I imagine afterwards you're going to be pretty immediately fired up and wanting to get on with things. So I would imagine it's probably before.
That would probably make the most sense timeline-wise, because there was a a point when she was like kind of trying to see if she could attune to the ghost field and get information about her missing family members. So I imagine that that any stress clearance would have happened before she went to do that. So
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Cool. So I see
What
that
else?
there is now an indulge vice button on the character sheet. Do I just get to click that?
Heck yeah.
Wow. It's so easy. Hopefully I actually can clear some stress.
Wow. Owen Wilson.
Indulge, vice,
Okay.
indulge, vice.
Alright. I don't think there's any bonus dice for this. It's just...
I don't think you actually want bonus dice.
No,
Yeah, you do.
I don't.
The higher the roll, the better.
Oh no!
So it's not that.
No!
Wow.
Fail! Can I?
You can spend a coin to increase the result level by 1.
Can't you
Oh,
also just
God.
indulge your vice again? Because you get 2 damage.
Yeah.
Actions,
I could. I could try again.
basically.
So
You probably should. What are you
yeah.
at? Like now you have 8 or 7 stress, right?
Yep.
yeah, she only reduced
You need to
1.
do that.
So Lyric tries really hard to settle down, but she is just all amped up. Or maybe the first time she tries to visit the proprietor, she brings some of her own Leviathan blood stash, and this time she's going to bleed herself to gain access to the special Cove of Wonders. Because it would probably be more worth it to just go ahead and do this than to try and add a dice, because maybe there's a chance I'll actually do better this time. All right, Lyric. You need to settle the fuck down. Oh, come on. Do it.
Okay.
Done.
How much stress do you have after that?
4?
After that, I have 4 stress.
I think watching Lyric futilely attempt to blow off steam, perhaps Wakasis is concerned. Perhaps he. Your vice is weirdness, right?
Yes. Yep.
The occult,
Mm-hmm.
the otherworldly. Perhaps Wakasis borrows a literal page out of one of his family's literal demon books and sends it on Lyric's way with a stash of fine drink. Perhaps it's a demonic tea. I don't know. Like,
Matcha.
he calculates. I use calculating. I give you another downtime action.
I was actually thinking of spending an extra coin to do something towards my ritual.
Well,
I
here's
don't know
another downtime action. You can do with that what you will.
It's for free.
It's for free.
Wow.
It's one of my-
Tifo free.
You use 2 downtime actions to indulge your vice, so you'd have to
Mhm.
spend coin to do anything else.
But no,
Right.
you don't.
No, I don't. So,
Sway.
so what exactly can I do with the
You
demon
just have an
tea?
additional downtime
Just-
action.
I
I
just
spend
have it.
due to my careful planning during downtime. I can give myself or one of my crew members.
That is.
downtime action.
And,
So that's what
and
I'm doing.
just as a reminder, you can indulge your vice again, but if you roll a 4, or sorry, if you roll a 5 or a 6 and you overindulge,
Mhm.
there's a bit of a penalty.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, I'm debating because I could. I was originally planning to try to acquire something to prepare the ritual that I have in the works. I don't
That'd be
know
good.
how. Yeah, because I have 4 stress right now. That leaves me with with 5 that I could accrue from future battles and struggles, but I don't know if like 4 is decent.
So
That's pretty good.
yeah, it's not bad. Let me ask you this about the asset thing. Isn't the asset you're trying to acquire the anchor necklace? Like, isn't
She's trying to
that
acquire
what
a couple
you need with
things.
the ritual?
There are a few things that I need, and from what we had talked about last week, I would need to make another roll in order to work on getting those other things, because there's a vat of void seawater. I need the spark drug that I have to take. I need a vial of Leviathan blood, or 2 to 3 vials of my own blood, the anchor trinket, and then just the attune roll to charge the trinket. So, yeah, so I don't know if for like, acquiring the spark drug or something like that, if getting that would be a roll in and of itself, or if there is a roll I could use to acquire a couple things. I don't know.
I think that it probably would be a roll to acquire the spark. Like,
mhm.
there's a couple different ways that we could do it. If you do an acquire asset roll to get it, then essentially that's a temporary use, like a one-time use type of a deal. But if you do something like a long-term project to, say, just for example, let's say I want to do a long-term project to establish a contact with someone to supply me with spark regularly. So if you do that long-term project, then you'd be able to get spark anytime you need it.
Okay.
Basically. Otherwise, you'd have to do acquire asset rolls every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I'm trying to think if it would make more sense for Lyric to try to get a steady supplier, or to just get like a one-time supply, because it's something that she's never actually done before.
Well, didn't we establish that you might have to do the ritual multiple times to like charge the it was like you had to do more work after, right? Like, so
there's the attune roll for the trinket if she wants to do it more than one time. Like, essentially the ritual would have charges effectively, and once you use up the charge, then you have to recharge the ritual. But if she's only looking to do it once, then she'd only need 1 dose of the spark and to have the anchor trinket attuned. And just she'd need to have the vat of void sea water, which is a resource that could be consistent for the ritual. I don't think it would get used up. I think it would, once you have it, you're going to have it.
Yeah.
I don't think the ritual would technically use any of it up, really.
Okay. Well, I guess I could start a project to try and find somebody who can get me the spark, just to take care of that, so I wouldn't have to go through the slog of a little drug here, a little drug there.
Sure.
The slog
So-
of a drug addiction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a real drag.
Just
Nice.
I got
You,
better things to do.
hey, she's using it to
Like
teleport
this.
people to the void sea, not on herself. So I mean,
It's not all about me, guys. I'm just
she's
trying
not
to
a
help out
taker.
the
She's
spirit.
just a.
right. She's killing other people.
Yeah. She's an
We'll do a
enabler.
Yes, I am an enabler.
A 6-tick clock for that long-term project.
That seems reasonable.
And the way that I understand this works is when you start a long-term project, the first action is to start it, and
Mhm.
then you'd have to take more actions to work on it.
Okay.
So you don't get to make any rolls for making
Right.
progress on it this time, I don't think, unless I'm wrong.
It doesn't say anything about that here.
I remember we we started doing all this stuff a while ago, so my
No,
brain's
I from looking at it, it looks like you get to roll. I've only ever seen you roll when you start it. Like, I don't think you have to use an action to start it. That's recovery.
Okay. Yeah, then just double checking here. I think that you're right. Crew downtime. We'll call it that for now. So
Okay.
that, yeah, you can roll to work on it the first time.
Mhm.
And unless I find something that says otherwise later on, then we'll just do it that way.
So we will say that I can roll this first time.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And let me see here. So, as far as working on a long-term project, it says roll a trait and mark 1 segment on the project clock per level. So what trait would I be rolling?
Any.
Whichever
That's-
one
Just anything
That's
I
up
want.
to you.
It's basically whatever you want to. Like if you wanted to roll like a skirmish to fight, like a guy, you could. I don't think you should do that, but
Probably not.
It's flexible. Whatever you
yeah.
think makes sense for what you're trying to accomplish,
Huh.
You could attune to try to like track down a drug dealer. You could consort with a drug dealer. You could sway a drug dealer.
Right.
You could steal drugs from somebody with finesse. Like you got.
Does anybody have a drug dealer friend?
I mean, I'm sure what Cases does.
Hey,
That's an actual-
I just know drug dealers. I mean, I'm gonna indulge my vice. Maybe I could assist with a consort role for her or something,
Do we have?
or a sway. I could just. I mean, come on.
Yeah, the rules.
Those
say-
croissants are like crack. Like.
That's true. That's true. The rules say that anyone can like help, and you get +1D.
Lyric. I mean, Cases literally knows a drug dealer.
Well, that's helpful.
If you look at your sheet, you have a friend who's a drug dealer with Cases. So, I mean,
Yeah, I think Clyra would also be able to help my strange friend who owns tavern. Rich people are always taking drugs. Come on,
oh yeah.
it's the pain of all the money.
So who wants to help her then? Would that be what cases?
Yeah,
Yeah. Me and
Yeah.
with Cases,
How can I
we're
assist?
best buds.
Give her the hookup for the hookup.
well, at this point, I gave her a present, and she said she needed drugs. So
Like,
you give her a book and
actually-
she comes back.
I have
Actually,
great concern.
It's time to cook.
But
I am so sorry for all my friends. Lyric is just going off the handle. I gotta kill someone. I gotta get drugs.
Sounds like a Blades in the Dark session to me.
Aw, yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, you
So
take
how
one
would we
die.
go about this?
So you get to choose what trait you want to use. So that would be things like your skirmish, your consort, your command, whatever it is you want to use.
Yeah, I mean, attune is, of course, my strongest ability, and so I would be inclined to use that, and I could justify that by saying, like what Matt was saying, she tries to attune to the ghost field to find a purveyor of drugs, but
Could-
yes.
Mr. DM,
That's me.
could I indulge my vice a little bit before I assist, so I can use Rook's Gambit on this assistance roll,
Ooh.
so I can roll sway?
For
Hey.
I mean,
assisting
wait.
her, for assisting her in a long-term project. For this case, you don't need to roll to assist her. You just give
Okay.
her the extra die because it's a
Okay,
mechanic. for the
great.
downside.
I just wanted to make sure because I was going to say
It makes it way
actually I
easier on
need
you.
to not take trauma.
I would
I would
not
like to
wish
take
to
trauma
put you
now.
through
Great.
that.
You're so helpful to Lyric that you're just like.
Oh, you want my blood? Okay.
I'm not trying to kill you guys. Like the common misconception is that Lyric is losing her mind, but she's actually trying to help you guys by killing someone for this demon and by feeding people to the void sea.
This all makes a lot of sense, I think.
I am a very benevolent whisperer.
Demons are safe.
So I'm going to use an attune roll, and do I get the bonus die from what cases is assistance?
yeah, because he's a friend.
Yes. All right.
He is right. Your friends, right? Yeah. Just friends.
Yeah, we friends.
Yeah.
What is my position?
Position for this, I don't see any reason for this to not be controlled at the moment.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. Effects standard.
Yeah.
All right, and a win bonus dice. Okay, don't fuck it up.
Boom.
All right.
Heck yeah, you do it. All right, so for
Get
6,
the drugs.
you get to mark off 3 segments of your 6-segment clock.
I'm halfway there.
Drug dance.
Drug dance.
Whoa, we're halfway there.
All right. Well,
I'm gonna
Mike,
get my
now
spark
that you did
on.
that,
We're
you
living
gotta
on a
call
prayer.
it.
Who's next? Yeah,
Got it.
Sorry that took so long.
Antoine, you're next.
What's up?
Do some downtime. It'll be fun.
So, I mean, I'm already halfway there with the the drug hookup. So we'll just say with cases
Thanks, man.
takes a load off and indulges his vice. He is sensing after getting a peek at whatever Lyric is working on, plus the stress of needing to impress our new perhaps benefactor. I don't think Wakasis is naive in thinking that his responsibilities are just increasing. So he's going to indulge his vice for old time's sake
My man.
and just go on a bender.
Do it.
Good for you.
How's this bender go for you?
Great. Just stunning. Just magnificent.
You're not wrong.
So you clear
Uh,
5 stress out of.
So I have 2 remaining stress. I think that's
Nice.
going to be about as good as it gets.
Try again.
Good. I'm very tempted to.
No.
What happens if I overindulge?
It can be really bad.
If you overindulge.
What else could happen? Could
For
it
the
be
sake
really
of-
good?
For the sake of explaining this for you guys' benefit and for the benefit of the audience, I don't think overindulging has come up before. If
Right.
you overindulge, there's a few options you can choose from. You can attract trouble, so you select or roll an additional entanglement for the crew. Big talk, you brag about your exploits and get +2 heat.
That sounds like Wakasis.
Yep. You play a different character until this one returns from their behaviors. That's lost. Or tapped. Your current purveyor cuts you off. You got to find a new source for your vice.
Wakasis is going to go for the gold here and indulge his vice a second time.
Oh,
Hope this
God.
goes well.
Oh no.
I taunt you a second time.
Oh,
Damn! So overindulged. So you guys come back to find Wakasis, and he's
Oh,
like
Jesus.
gone. Passed out, gone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So Wakasis, you get to decide how the overindulgence takes form.
I get to decide? I don't have to roll?
You get to decide what. I mean, if you want to roll a d4, then you can have it be randomly
Don't do
selected.
that.
You don't want to do
So
that.
the options one more time.
They're on Rules Reference 2 and Roll 20 if you want to check them out under Vice.
You
We
can-
roll another entanglement. We get heat, which would be really bad right now. I'm just saying, as the
Because we are
caretaker
two
of
heat.
this, yeah,
away from a wanted level.
And the
you lose your character.
entanglements.
So your character's gone, and you have to play a new one for a while, or your vice purveyor is now no longer available to you.
Mm.
The entanglements are on the same rules reference if you want to check those out.
I'm just trying to decide. These are good. These are juicy.
Who's your purveyor?
Clara, the tavern owner, which is the easy one, you know.
Sure.
Wakasis is this could be Wakasis' last ride, because now he's got too much shit to do to just be drunk all the time. You know, he's a business owner.
Yeah.
Like,
I like the idea of losing the dice because, you know, I'm the GM and that's fun and interesting.
Yeah, well, you suck.
That's
So.
okay,
wrong.
so 2 of the results are I suppose entanglements could be moderately bad for the crew. Heat would be quite bad for the crew. New character is interesting for the crew and myself, and losing my vice is also interesting. So I'm gonna flip a coin.
Oh
my
boy.
God.
Roll a d2.
Oh, no.
I don't have overlays ready for a new character.
Roll a d2.
Oh,
Well, then he
No.
better not roll a 1.
I'm gonna flip a coin.
Don't you freaking dare.
So for the record, he's going to roll a d2. If it's a 1, then it's lost. If it's a 2, it's tapped.
I'm gonna roll a d4,
Oh boy.
and if it's odd, I have to play a new character, and if it's even, I find a
Okay.
new vice.
Alright.
Because I can't roll a
Now
d2.
is
I
not
can
a
see.
good time for you to abandon us.
This
okay?
slash roll d2, and that'll do it with d2.
Okay, I just didn't see the picture. So
Do it.
I don't like chance.
okay, so if I'm rolling a d2 on a 1 new character, on a 2 new vice.
Hey.
If it's,
Oh! Wow.
so you guys,
Wow.
You guys come back to find what cases, and he's gone. He is nowhere to be found.
Oh my
Find him.
god. Well, guess we're going on without you, buddy.
Welcome to
All right,
Roleplay.
everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week when I have an overlay for Anthony's new character.
Oh, we don't need an overlay.
Ugh.
Woo!
Oh my gosh.
god.
Well then.
Well, I wasn't ready either, Matt. So.
No.
The worst part, we're all coming back to meet with you right now.
We're trying to find
Like,
you.
we're all like headed back because I cared,
Mr.
and I was like, it's
Businessman.
time to go talk with Wacasis about this business deal, and you're like, hey everybody.
I'm just gonna put this one out there because I have to every time. So Anthony, the lurk is pretty cool.
Yeah, but so is it.
There's a
So
lot
is
of
the
cool
leech.
ones. Leech is very cool. Yes, I like the leech a lot.
I think Leech was second on my list when I first made a character, but I don't
Mhm.
remember. Do you want me to tell you guys what happens to me?
Please inform us. We would love
So-
to know.
in true soap opera fashion. So where do you look for cases? Where do you go looking for him to
Go
transition back into the narrative? Wait, did everybody do downtime? Do you want to do downtime first, Matt?
Actually, yeah, my downtime will take place before we get back.
Okay, so do you want to do that first, and then we'll go back, and this will
Sure.
segue you guys into the rest of the episode.
Sure, totally. Yeah, that's a great
That'll be
idea.
good transition.
Okay, so mine are gonna be easy and not involve dice rolls like that. No,
So you
no,
know
Those are so much
With
fun.
life
though.
or death.
no balls, no balls, Giuseppe over here. All right,
What cases
so,
is a gambler?
dude? Yeah, well role played. God, okay. So to update the audience, by the way, we all, if you look in the overlay just here, we all have our new abilities, and mine is Ghost Hunter, which means that I have potency on tracking or fighting the supernatural, and I also have a creature that has mind link with me, which means it and I can communicate telepathically. That's going to come up later, I'm sure of it. Anyway, so my downtime actions, my first one is going to be indulging in my vice. My vice, as Giuseppe, is faith. It's with the Church of the Weeping Lady, or the Order of the Weeping Lady, to go speak with Mother Narya, who is, she is also an eldest, just like Morlin, but she is not the same one as Morlin, obviously, and one that Giuseppe trusts, and she is one who knows about what Giuseppe does in his indulgences. So she kind of is like the one who like encourages him to go to Dunslow and help people, and kind of got him on this path. So I'm gonna go speak with her to start my downtime action.
Okay.
So
Your lowest is a 0 dice if your character sheet is accurate.
that is correct.
So you roll 2 and take the lowest.
I just hit the indulge vice button, right?
I
That's a great
think,
button,
I
by
don't
the
know,
way.
I don't know if that works. I don't
I'm gonna-
know if
I'm gonna
that
try
would
it.
work.
Let's
Let's
just
see
see
Real
what
what
life.
happens.
Just
Let's see what happens.
hit that.
Oh, no bonus dice. It did. Yeah, it did it. That's cool. Look at that.
One.
I have my font
That's
is,
neat.
is blue and highlighted.
Wow.
Great. So I have 5 stress now on my 6.
try again.
To the club.
You know, I feel like I'm not gonna try again.
You can spend coin to increase the result level.
Ooh, and so and what exactly would that do for me? Help me out here. Like,
Like
how
a, what, a
good.
4 or 5, right?
It would turn it into a 4 or a 5, essentially.
can I turn it into a 5?
Yeah.
Then I'll pay a
For a
coin.
coin.
All right, I'm gonna go down to 1 stress.
Ooh, yeah.
I think we're doing it right there.
Remove a coin.
I'm sure that some practice.
I'm trying to remove a coin from my sheet. There we go. Okay, I got it. Cool. So the way this looks is actually it's on the way back from the conversation with Silas and Lyric, and Giuseppe is headed back toward the Gambit, but he left with it like differently than they did, because he didn't want to be seen leaving with them. And on the way, he went and stopped with Mother Narya and explained the situation, and this also goes into my next downtime thing, which is going to be to gather information about Morlin and the church that he's in. and any connections he might have. So I go to indulge my vice with Mother Narya, and I speak with her, and then I'm real with her. I'm like, look, I need to know about this guy. And I don't explain that we're going to go kill him, because I don't think Giuseppe knows that. I don't think that has ever been communicated clearly to him, as much as, like, there's something that we need to do with him, with Morland. So I explain it to Mother Narya by saying, like, you know there is corruption in the church, but maybe it is time we remove some of this, I don't know why he's French now. Some of this, big it. I do not. Maybe now we get rid of some of this corruption here. I ask her, you know of Morlin, correct?
You're talking to.
The DM.
Give me her name one more time.
Mother Narya.
And she's an Ellis.
Yes.
Okay. You're asking for. Sorry, I was trying to talk with Anthony here in chat. Run your question by me one more time.
Yeah, I need information on Morlin.
Okay.
I'm using my second downtime action as gather information.
Okay. So you ask her about Morlin, and she, upon you greeting her, she presents to you whatever the traditional greeting is among members of the Church of the Weeping Lady.
We high five.
I imagine it's probably like something to do with a tear, like running a finger down the cheek or something.
Yeah, so it's actually just like they like grab the side of your face, and it's hard to do with my own hand, like this, like this, right? So that, like their thumb is right here, and then they give you a kiss on the other cheek.
Okay. Yeah, she presents that greeting to you, and she looks at you with very kind eyes. She, just to describe her a little bit, she's relatively, a little shorter than average height. She's not incredibly short, but you're definitely taller than her. Kind of graying hair, but not fully gray. It's more brown with some gray strands running through it. Blue eyes. She's wearing a rather old and dirty robe, and she looks at you, and she says, "What do you want, my child?"
So how does gather information work exactly?
So if you gather
I don't want to just like have a conversation and then realize I either gain too much or little, because I think I have to roll at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah. You take +1 dice if a friend or contact helps you.
Yeah, I think that
Spend
it's just I spend extra
time,
time to gather it, so I just get +1 effect on a gather information roll.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So how do I gather information?
You pick a like an act, like a an act, or one of your stats, and then you roll it.
Okay. Oh, okay. And I get +1 effect on it, and that's
Yeah.
the benefit of my downtime
Yep.
action. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to. Well, I guess then it wouldn't make sense for me to talk to her, because I'm not going to. Actually, maybe the conversation goes that she just tells me a way to get in the building or something, because I'm gonna roll prowl, to sneak around and try to locate any weaknesses of our upcoming score, or whatever we do with gather information.
See, Mike, we already have a lurk.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
So are you wanting to prowl out the church where Morlin is? Is that what
Yes.
you're wanting to do?
Yeah, to back into the fiction, I went to Mother Narya, I indulged my vice with her, I spoke and prayed with her, and we discussed stuff, I guess. And maybe part of this was I went back out to Dunslow and did some more work out there, because that's our connection. And then I came back and I explained to her, like, hey, there's corruption in the church. Morlin has got to have something to do with it. I'm investigating Morlin, and she says,
okay,
how about you check out this place? Right? Have you
right? Yeah,
have
that's
you tried
kind of
this?
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, and so I'm gonna roll prowl to investigate that quietly.
So, yeah, that conversation pretty much goes that way. You tell her that you think that there's corruption in the church, and she kind of she doesn't look surprised at all.
Oh no, she knows
and
about
kind
it
of
for sure.
looks at you.
Yeah,
She
it
looks
wasn't
at you
as
with
much
just
that
this
I.
knowing look.
Yeah, it wasn't as much that I told her that there was corruption in the church, as much as I said like, "Hey, I think it's like something's come up, and it's time for me to start acting about on the corruption that's in the church."
Yeah.
Like she and I are on
So-
the same page about this for sure.
Yeah, you guys right now would be probably in just one of the like satellite campuses that are scattered throughout the different districts of.
Yeah, she has a small little,
of Dusk
little
Wall.
church thing.
So you're there. You're not necessarily all alone. There's probably a few miscellaneous,
Oh,
eldest and
okay.
other. What's the younger rank?
Youngest.
Right? Youngest.
Youngest.
That's what I remember. They're
The-
scattered around the church doing cleaning and lighting candles, and she looks around as though she's trying to look to see if anyone's nearby, and she just writes something on a little scrap piece of paper and hands it to you, and folds it up in your hands very gently and cups your hands in hers, and then wipes your face again in the farewell and just says good luck, and it's
Yeah.
just a location of a church in the Brightstone district.
Okay. Yeah. I walk outside. Like I don't look at the note. I give her the same farewell, and I walk out of the church. Kind of put my cloak back on over my face and my head, and I just kind of walk out. And then when I'm a ways away, I stop and I look at the paper, and I see the address in Brightstone. And my goal now with gathering information is to go and prowl around that place and try to find any weaknesses.
Okay.
So
Go ahead and roll your prowl. Is this eldest on your contacts list?
Mother Narya?
Yeah.
No, she's just my vice indulger.
Okay.
Yeah, she's my purveyor. of
And I don't-
things.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out if she would qualify as a friend.
Oh,
or not
sure,
to
for the
be with
plus 1D
people.
for helping.
Yeah. I think that it makes sense that she is, just
Okay.
because you know her. It sounds like this isn't the first interaction you've had with this person.
Mhm.
She's kind of like maybe your primary form of contact in this area of Duskwall.
Yeah, something like that. Like she within the church, she's my primary contact for sure.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'm gonna just risky position, right?
You got this.
I'll do great effect.
Because of
Oh.
increased effect.
I'll add a bonus die.
Ooh.
Nice.
Noise.
A 6. So very good information then. So you take a short trip over to Brightstone, or as short a trip that you can, trying to go to a different area of the city.
Right.
And I'll take you guys first to this map, so we can kind of see where Brightstone is in relationship to Crowsfoot. It's to the northeast of Crowsfoot, so you'd either have to go through the docks or Charter Hall to get there.
Oh, I go through the docks for sure.
I would imagine so.
Yeah, Charter
So
Hall
once
is
you-
too schmoozy.
Once you go through the docks, then hey, look at these fancy new pages that John Harper done made for the different districts. They're very nice. So you head up into Brightstone here, and you approach from the side that has the docks.
Mhm.
The church building itself, or the building that you've been directed to, is probably around here.
Okay.
This pentagon-shaped one.
Sure.
And everything in this area of town is so much cleaner than it is in Crowsfoot. I don't know how much time Giuseppe has spent out of the Crowsfoot
He's
kind of
familiar-
area.
He's familiar with most of the city. Like, because
Yeah.
he goes to Dunslow for his like regular.
Cool. But yeah, just for the audience sake, it's pristine. Like in Crowsfoot, the streets were dusty. There was, puddles of slop everywhere. There's, horse dung littering the streets as carriages roll by. Kind of like soot-choked atmosphere, very difficult to breathe. But almost like shortly after you enter to Brightstone, everything is just white. All the stone, it almost looks unnaturally clean, as though, someone's following every single person in the district around with like a toothbrush and scraping up their dirt from their heels. But it's super clean, very like not quite as claustrophobic as many of the other districts in town. The buildings are a lot taller. A lot of them have columns along the porches, and especially some of the buildings that you would recognize as a few of the different religious buildings across the courtyard as you approach from that. I believe that would be the west side of Brightstone. On the eastern side, you see this massive towering building with just gigantic spires just reaching up into the sky.
Right,
And you would know that as
Sanctorium,
the Sanctorium, right? The Church for the Ecstasy of the Flesh. But you
I scoff
take off
as
to
I
the right.
pass.
Yep. You try to avoid it. You know that only bad people go there.
Mm.
Take off to the right.
Well, it's
and
like
you can see
it's
across
like
the
it's like
courtyard.
the state religion though in Duskfall, right? Like a lot of people follow this
Yeah.
church. I don't
Oh,
like
yeah.
I don't look at it and be like, oh, only the bourgeois hang out here. Like I just kind of look at it and like there's a I'm not wearing my mask, by the way, the mask that has the weeping lady like tear on it and everything, because like I don't want to offend the people here or start a fight or something, or be noticeable. But like I look at it and there's just like like Giuseppe can't help it. There's just this sort of like face that comes on and as he sees the church and then goes to the side.
Okay. You would also probably be aware that you're aware of a certain level of corruption within the Church of the Weeping Lady. Whatever level there is there, you know that it's infinitely more so in the Church of the Ecstasy of the Flesh.
Mhm.
It's not very uncommon for people to spread rumors about them dabbling in the occult and other various things.
Mhm.
You head off to check out this church. Very similar architecture to many of the buildings around. White stone, columned porch up in front. It's probably three stories, we'll say, tall, and pretty well guarded. At least most of Brightstone is. As a matter of fact, there's blue coat patrols everywhere.
Okay.
And this is one of the areas where it does seem like it's a little more focused. There's more guards patrolling those streets and alleyways. You are able to find there's a back alley, and there's a cellar door in that back alley. It's locked. You can see a big freaking padlock on it.
Okay.
But it seems like this particular alley, there is a gap of probably about 5 minutes. On a fairly consistent basis, like once an hour, there's a 5-minute gap where there's no guards here.
Right, and the guards are these guards of any note? Because like the church wouldn't have like posted guards unless they're just the youngest who are out there to guard it, and they're just sort of like militia quality.
Well, most
in my
of those that you would recognize as guards are blue coats.
Oh, okay,
That's
understood.
because they're just the cops. And the Church of the Weeping Lady, it's not like it's an underground
No.
religion, or so there would be nothing unusual about having blue coats patrol around that area.
Sure, okay, I understand.
You would
now.
see there's blue coats. You might also every once in a while see different eldest and youngest that are walking around the area, and it might take a little bit more timing on your part to make sure that during that small window that you have every hour, that there's no members of the church that would catch you trying to do anything.
Sure. What I want to know is there a position from outside of the building that I could shoot Morlin at if he's like, is there like, does his office have windows?
Well, do you want to try to go inside the church to try to find out where his office is? Because if you're just doing recon from outside, I don't think you'd be able to know where his office is unless you
On a 6?
get like a. I'm giving you a whole lot here on a 6 as far as external recon goes. Trying to think about what you'd be able to see from outside.
Because I don't as
Granted.
much care about like the cellar door as much as I do like I'm looking for Moreland. You know, I'm looking for where he's
Right.
going to be. If I can see him at
I
all, or
think-
even a time that he comes in or out, you know.
Yeah, I think that if you spend a little more time there, then he would have a fairly consistent schedule. You know, how long do you spend observing this location?
I've made my way up to a nearby like fire escape, and I'm camped out on it, under like there's probably a barrel somewhere or something, and I'm hidden in it. Like I'm camped out. I'm
Okay.
staking it out for like all day and probably
Okay.
a good deal of the night,
Yeah.
since it's all kind of the same.
Maybe
anyway.
yeah, you find like a fire escape or some sort of scaffolding on maybe this building, kind of catty corner.
Sure.
That trapezoid shaped one, and you're perched there and you watch this for how long would you say?
Like all day and all night.
Like all day and all night? Just one
I'm
day?
there for a while. However long it takes to get me the information.
Cool.
Yeah.
So
Giuseppe
you would
stay.
see Moreland, he comes and goes from the church probably once in the morning at around 10 a.m. He'll enter the church at 10 a.m. He'll remain in the church for 4 to 5 hours. So between 10 and 2 o'clock, he's in the church. He leaves the church at 2, and he heads and makes a circuit of the district, making sure that he's, trying to talk to people, convince them to go to church, the things that, priests do when they're trying to gather people to come to their church.
Mhm.
And then he'll come back to the church at around 2, and he'll stay in the church until like 8. He stays there pretty much the rest of the day. If you're watching
So
the
wait,
church,
he leaves at 2 and then he comes back when?
so he leaves the church at 2, so stays out from 2 o'clock to, we'll say, 4 o'clock. He spends 2 hours wandering around the district, comes back at 4, and then stays there until 8 o'clock, and then he goes home at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
If you're watching the building, there's a window on the 3rd floor on the right side of the front of the building. A couple of times you catch a glimpse of him through the window, probably once when he's shutting the blinds. So that's about as much as you'd be able to get from recon outside.
So I've seen him go into a room, and I've seen him shut the blinds of the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
How's that? Cool.
Information, yeah.
Sounds like what we need.
So after this,
Is there?
after this, I go back to the. I do some side street maneuvering, and then I go back to the Gambit, right? The Gambit's where we're all meeting. So
Yeah, I think we agreed on that.
So I head into the Gambit, and presumably I've been out for a while, right? So like Lyric and Silas, you guys have probably made it back by now. So I walk into the Gambit.
They've probably been waiting for you
Mhm.
for a while.
Yeah.
Because you spent basically an entire day reconning.
Yeah.
Do you guys just wait for him for that day, or do you want to try to find where the heck Cases is while he's doing that?
I think
Yeah,
I think it makes sense. Like, I mean, we're waiting for Giuseppe. If we're assuming Giuseppe's going to come back, I think we'd assume at this point that Cases is going to come back. Like, I think like it's not like we have no idea that he's just disappeared to wherever dark, dank corners of Duskfall.
Incredibly
Uh,
dank.
we're just like, yeah, he's probably going on his bender. He'll be back later. He'll be back eventually. Right. So I think what Silas does, and I think he probably asks Lyric a couple questions about the job. Um, you know, which I don't think we need to role play out because I
Sure.
only need to know like a couple things.
Mhm.
And I think the only one we actually have to, you know, uh, really touch on is he basically looks at you, and I know we had a moment where he said like, if you need to kill him, I'll help you. And he like, I think there's a point where like, he's actually been tidying up the Gambit, maybe cleans out for one of the windows, sets up some, I want to say like, basically prepares it in case, for the future and anything like if we're attacked, if we need to, use it for any means. So he's basically tidying up and reinforcing it. And I think there's a point where he kind of walks over to Lyric and is like, and he hasn't been ignoring her. It's just like they've been talking about other things. And I think he goes like, basically, he's like, so, we're going to have to kill this man, aren't we?
And I
mean,
imagine. Oh, go ahead.
No. I think he's like, and then he kind of like looks and he's waiting for like, the answer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Lyric just kind of nods her head. She's like, I don't think there's any two ways around it.
Okay. So, I mean, I guess the only other question is, and like you can see, there's a moment of discomfort at the thought, and then he like pushes it back, and there's like it's like all serious now, and he's ready for it, and he's like, "So, are we gonna tell Giuseppe that?"
I don't know if we can.
I think it'd be better for him if we didn't, because we're gonna have to kill this man, and I don't think he's gonna like it. But I'll take the fall after if you want me to.
This is all on me.
I've done it before. Okay,
No,
we'll see what happens.
We will see how it goes
think we
down,
should
but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, let's go
So
ahead.
I was going to say we should take a break.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick break. We've been playing for quite a while. We still have another hour to go of more Blades in the Dark. We're now done with the downtime actions and headed into the next score, which is apparently either an assassination or robbery of this guy. We don't really know. Well, what case? Or Giuseppe doesn't know.
Giuseppe
What
doesn't
know
know.
anything.
Nope. He's
And,
beyond knowing.
Yeah, all right, guys. Well, we'll be back in about 5 minutes, so don't go anywhere. Hope you guys are enjoying. And if you are, make sure to hit the follow button, which is directly below Ian right now. And if you're not, tell us why and let us know so we can fix this. We do this show not for our own good, but because we enjoy making stuff for you and sitting here and talking with you while we play this game. So, thank you, and we'll see you in 5 minutes. Don't go anywhere.